So the year of the horse in the Chinese zodiac, specifically the year of the fire horse, it starts with the Chinese New Year on February 17th, 2026. In our current calendar, that's the second month and the 17th day of the month for a 217. So we're still currently in the year of the snake, 918. So what does the year of the horse equal to? Which starts in 1 month's time on February 17th. Year of the horse equals 1260. Year of the horse equals 1008, and year of the horse equals 888. Now this is a huge, massive reveal, because what have I been showing you for all of last year were the numbers 1260. Here's the slide, the 1260s. We discovered this decode and ran with it and watched all the synagogue of Satan Jews steal it. So here's the 1260, here's the 1008, and here's the 888. We got lots of 888s, but we've been going over the 888 a lot because 888 equals Project Bluebeam. 888 equals the synagogue of Satan, satanic ritual, the art of the deal, and Donald J. Trump is 888. Beast system is 888. So we got the 1008 for digital ID, nanotechnology, weaponization of the digital ID and the nanotechnology. And why are they weaponizing this technology? So they can transfer your soul to the beast system. Soul transfer is 1008. New York City is 1008. New York is 666. It's the Freemasonic Order 1008. Taylor Swift, Third Reich, Wuhan, China, Masonic Puppet 1008. Had more 1008s. Where did I put them? So we got Doomsday set for release on 12/18. So I did put the 888s here too, because the 14th of January is my next prediction date for, I'm guessing, the next trailer release or something happening in the world on the 14th of January. The 14th of January equals 1008. The 14th of January equals 1656 and 888. So there's the 888s, there's the 1656s, and there's the 1008s. Why do I say the 14th of January? Because of my 1104 decode, which is Hell the Antichrist. So 11/4 is, so from Wednesday, January 14th to Friday, December 18th, leaves 11 months and 4 days. Hell the Antichrist, slave of Satan. Yesterday, we talked about Trump going into Venezuela and finally attacking and taking captive their president. 7th King Trump is 666, Venezuela 666, New York 666, because the 7th King Trump went into Venezuela, took out the president, and moved him to New York. All 666, Maduro captured equals Mark of the Beast, the Jews, Canaanites, the Doomsday Clock, the 7-year tribulation 1008. Jews are Canaanites 1008, the 14th of January 1008. Masonic Puppet, Decoding with Cody, 1008. Freemasonic Order, Decoding with Cody, 1008. Third Reich. And now today, we have found out, well, everyone already knew this because even Sky News posted this 3 weeks ago. The real reason Venezuela matters. So I'm going to play some of this and skip through it, but this is from Sky News. Over almost 4 million views posted on the 11th of December.
Now, Donald Trump is insisting that the main reason he's interested in Venezuela, the main reason the US is kind of looking at tankers off the coast of Venezuela comes back to drugs, the trade, the smuggling of illegal drugs out of Venezuela. But what if it's not just that? Maybe there's something else going on. What if it's partly about oil?
Yeah,
Now,
so it's
on the
partly
surface,
about oil. So everyone knows, even the British know that it's not about drugs, it's about oil. So let's look at some of the graphs they got here.
since then, everything has changed. Look.
So wait, hold on. So back in the years 2005, so we're going from 2001 to 2005. So 2001 is 9/11. This is going to explain and make you realize why all these wars took place. So the US, so by 1,000 barrels a day, were not leading in fuel, right? They used to, until Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, struck oil in the 60s. And then they were getting all their fuel until they finally surpassed the USA, which is what they didn't like. And notice Venezuela all the way down here. So the USA needed to change that. So they went to war with the Middle East from 2001 for almost a decade. And look what transpired regarding the oil in the world.
Saudi Arabia was there. But as you probably know, since then, everything has changed. Look, American output has gone through the roof, way above Saudi Arabia, way above Saudi Arabia. And Venezuela has gone basically to the floor. And that's kind of post-Chavez, Maduro. They're one of the minnows now, and I think 21st biggest producer in the world. So again, that question, why should America care? Well, in the US, that big rise is largely down to this. It's down to the shale revolution. So you've got fracking all around the US producing extraordinary amounts of the kind of density. So you're basically...
So the America, their oil is only light crude oil, right? They don't have access to the heavy crude oil.
Basically looking at how thick that crude is. And when I say thick, I mean literally how thick. This is showing you global production broken down by the density of that oil. And so you've got the kind of medium stuff. And this is probably, if you've got kind of image in your mind of what crude oil looks like, it's a bit like this, it's kind of black, but it's not too viscous, it flows around. But there's other stuff as well. A lot of the early Californian oil, that was the heavy gloopy stuff. And if you look at kind of some of the refineries in America, so here are some of the refineries. There's one in LA there. These are the 10 biggest. You've got some up here around kind of towards Canada. That we'll kind of come to that in a second. But a lot of them are down there, kind of Texas, Louisiana, on the coast. And here's the critical thing. These refineries are primarily set up for heavy oil, for taking that gloopy stuff and turning it into gasoline and all of the other different products. But here's where things get interesting. And remember that chart I showed you a moment ago, the one which showed kind of shale oil and how it kind of went through the roof. The oil that's generally produced with shale oil, the fracking oil, that comes out of the ground mostly in the light form. So it's the smoothie. It's sometimes actually even clear. It comes out of the ground clear rather than black. And that's the majority of American production right now. Shale oil tends to be light stuff. And actually, that's kind of going back to...
Okay, so America's only producing the light stuff. They're not producing the heavy stuff.
Produced before, it still needs to suck in loads of oil from overseas. And the type of oil we're talking about, it used to be, it's mostly heavy crude. It used to be only 12%. So only 12% of imports were heavy, gloopy crude. Now, it's about 70%. So 70% of the oil coming into America, which it needs to basically keep its economy going, is heavy crude. And where does heavy crude come from? Well, here are some of the big countries where you find most of it. It's Canada and Venezuela.
Right. So America is losing money on their oil production because they're only producing the light fuel, and they're equipped for heavy oil. So when they're not getting that heavy crude oil, they're losing out. And as you can see, it went from 12% import of heavy crude oil from the 60s, 70s to 70% now today, right? And look where the biggest countries are the biggest producers of this heavy crude oil. It is Canada and Venezuela. And look who's sandwiched right in the middle. It's the USA and Mexico.
There's one other I'll come to in a second, which we'll come back to. But it's Canada and it's Venezuela where you get most of this heavy crude oil, which is why, about to think about where those refineries are, they're mostly set up kind of, you've got some in the north there to get the heavy oil coming out of Canada, and you've got some around the kind of Louisiana.
So the Brits knew the whole reason behind the US going into Venezuela. They have it all mapped out there months ago. So I don't know how the whole world and the internet knew that America was going to invade Venezuela, and Venezuela had no idea. Find that very suspicious. So let's get back to the decodes. So heavy crude oil. Look what heavy crude oil equals to. It's the 1218 we've been going on and on and on about. So heavy crude oil, 1218. Satanic ritual and satanic worship is 1218. Triple sixes as 666 is 1218. The Freemasons, 1218. Total lunar eclipse, 1218. The Great Seal, 1218. Revenge of the Sith. So that's the Star Wars popular film, Revenge of the Sith, 1218. Trump, ASSINATION, attempt equals 1218. Welcome to Hell equals 1218. Steven Spielberg, 1218. Artificial intelligence, 1218. The World Health Organization, 1218. Transgender Day of Remembrance, 1218. So there's a huge connection between the World Health Organization and the transgenders. The Day of Remembrance, because the Day of Remembrance is the day that the WHO, the World Health Organization, removed the LGBT from the mentally ill list. We went over this with the 1656 decode, and the day that they did this was the day that we found out was the actual day of the Great Flood. Antichrist crowned is 1218. Holographic deception is 1218. The Antichrist birthing ritual equals 1218. Arrival of the AI beast equals 1218. And the 4th of November equals 1218. And the 4th of November was very huge because of the 1260 decode, November 4th, right? From September 11th, 2001 to Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 was 1260 weeks. And look at the 1260s we have all over here. Novus Ordo Seclorum, 1260 written out equals 1104, which is November 4th. From the date, September 11th, also equals 1260. Seventh King Trump equals 1260 and 666. And 1260, the 7-year tribulation, is divided into two halves. The first half equals 1260 days, and the second half equals 1260 days. 1218 is the number we're talking about. And look what 1218 equals to. 1218 equals to 1218. Shadow government is 1218. Jewish Messiah, 1218. Manhattan, New York. Masonic agent. Misinformation. Heliocentric. And look at this. Heliocentric, which is the current fake scientific model that is accepted worldwide, or should we say globally, where they say that the Earth revolves around the sun in space. The heliocentric model, as opposed to the geocentric, where the sun revolves and moves around the Earth. Heliocentric equals 1218. Heliocentric equals Antichrist, 726. Now, this is going to come into play this year because of the disclosure. Disclosure for aliens, disclosure for UFO, disclosure for alien technology. Steven Spielberg's film, Disclosure Day. Heliocentric. So for that nonsense to be believed, right? Steven Spielberg right here, 1218. Born on, remember, Steven Spielberg is born on 1218. (1218). Stephen Allen Spielberg, 1218. Artificial intelligence is 1218. Steven Spielberg equals 1218. And Stephen Allen Spielberg equals 918, Year of the Snake, and 322, Skull and Crossbones, for his movie Disclosure Day. And they need a heliocentric model and belief to be able to pull this off, and which is run by the Antichrist and Satan, which is why heliocentric equals 1218 and 726. Holy bloodline is 1218. Trump tribulation. I keep telling you, we are going through a Trump tribulation, and look what Trump keeps doing. He bombed Somalia on Christmas Day. He bombed Venezuela, Caracas on January 3rd. Trump tribulation, 1218. Artificial intelligence, 1218. Digital life, unlimited knowledge, 187 for your murder code in LA. Satan deceives humans, 1218. 51st state. So that's why America wants Canada, because of the heavy crude oil. That's why if he makes Canada the 51st state, he'll have access to all of Canada's heavy crude oil. And digital salvation, 1050. So 1218 and 1050s. We're going to see a whole bunch more. Heavy crude oil, the Freemasons, satanic ritual and satanic worship, all 1218. The year of the horse, 1260. The year of the horse is 1008. Now, this is absolutely mind-blowing. The same numbers I told you would come up are all here, all over this whole year. The year of the horse starts in 1 month's time, Chinese New Year on February 17th. Year of the horse is 1260 and 1008 and 888. From September 11th to January 3rd, when Trump went into Caracas, Venezuela, was 8,880 days to the day. Heavy crude oil equals 888. January 3rd equals 1050. Satanic worship, 1050. Satanic ritual, 888. These two phrases that I'm showing you that equal 1050, like January 3rd, and 888, like heavy crude oil, which was what they were after on the 8,880 days since September 11th. Satanic worship, satanic ritual also equal 1218. Satanic ritual, satanic worship, 1218. We have satanic ritual, satanic worship, 1050, 888, January 3rd, 1050. Heavy crude oil, 888 and 1218. Tuesday, September 11, 2001 to Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, 8,880 days for your 888. Year of the horse, 1260. Year of the horse, 1008. Year of the horse, 888. We've gone over this a million times. It's going to keep coming up. These are the biggest decodes in the world. Digital ID, nanotechnology equals 1260, 1008, like the year of the horse. So in the year of the horse, we will get digital ID, nanotechnology, the weaponization version, the weaponized version of nanotech. It's not here to help us. It's here to deceive us and to transfer your soul. For your soul transfer, 1008. You guys are being deceived. Absolutely deceived. I'm the only one that's spelling it out for you all. So the year of the horse begins February 17th, and the year of the horse equals 1008, 1260, and 888. Are you not seeing it? 888 is also Donald J. Trump, who's the current president, who's the seventh king of Revelation, who will unleash the beast system, 888. The synagogue of Satan, 888. Project Bluebeam, 888. Satanic ritual, 888. There's the 1260s. Seventh King Trump is 1260. September 11th is 1260. 1260 equals November 4th. A birthing ritual equals 666. Number of a man, Trump, 1260, 1316, 1260, Novus Ordo Seclorum, 1260. The days of Noah, 1260. Age of Aquarius, election night, which falls on November 4th, Jesus on the cross. When is the rapture? Rebelling against Satan. Military invasion. March 22nd, the rise of the machines. In the year of the horse, 1260. Rise of the machines, 1260. Trial and tribulation, 7 years. Fountain of youth. Digital switch. During these, so the Antichrist revealed, 1260. During these uncertain times, 1260. Bride of Satan, 1260. Erica L. Franzway, 1260. Satan's devices, the Prince of Darkness. So I'm not wrong. Antichrist System, 1260. Digital Beast System, 1260. The Prince of Darkness, 1260. A World King Satan, 1260. What we are witnessing is exactly what I'm telling you is happening. All of this is happening in the year of the horse. There's your 1260. There's your 1008. Yes, 2026 is the year of the horse in the Chinese zodiac, beginning on February 17th. Wow, this is the most insane decode. January 3rd, satanic worship. You won't see this anywhere else.